What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to the Naturally Yours podcast. I am Ty the Natural, your host. And on today, we are going to be having another juicy conversation with my special guest, Naomi Period, aka Nadia. So help me welcome Nadia.
Guys. How are you
Hey,
guys doing?
sis. How are you
How are you?
today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so
Good.
happy you're here. I'm so
I'm so
excited for this
happy to be here.
conversation.
Glad for the new year, new things, new collabs. Glad to be here with you guys.
Yes, more evolution, more evolving, more growth,
Mhm.
more knowledge,
Only
bigger and
on and
better.
now. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly the vibe. Bigger and better this year.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. So, on today, me and Nadia wanted to talk to you guys about morals and values, but specifically, would you advise your son to chase women? So, I heard this topic on another podcast, and the women on the podcast seemed like they didn't know how to answer this question. So I was like, I definitely have to bring this onto my platform and discuss this with my girl Nadia because we definitely have to clear the air when it comes to this conversation and this topic. So, Nadia, why don't you start us out? Would you advise your son to chase women and why?
Um, I think yes. I'm very controversial on this because it's like nowadays the brand of women that we have out there or the standard of women has changed. So yeah, I think sometimes it's not ideal to just settle down with the first person you meet. I think you have to shop around and see what you're really getting and see where you're really putting yourself. Like you want to know her, you want to know her background, you want to know her family. I don't think you should just um, stick to one person. So yeah, I have a son, and I would tell him to not really chase women, but find a good quality of woman because the quality of woman today has changed.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. The quality of women have changed. There are still some very quality women out there, but I'll say the quality level has gone down for women.
What's expected of them or what should be like the norm is no longer the norm. So yeah, uh, mm. You still have a
It's
couple good ones. It's always a handful of
yeah,
good ones, you know,
yeah,
that's still
most
old
definitely.
school with it and it's coming from a moral standpoint whenever they're making a decision. And I think that's just the bottom line that you really just have to have your morals in place when you make any decision because it will
Yes,
spill over into other situations.
agreed, agreed. So my take on it is, I wouldn't, I wouldn't promote my son chasing women at all. No, there has to be a better outlook. Um, I feel like maybe you should be friends first. You know what I mean? Like maybe you should
But
pursue
that's the
somebody that
problem. People are not courting people nowadays. You know, it's
right.
not like we see the change, we see the shift. Social media have you dating 5 6 people. We've seen the mix up on Facebook where you post one person and then 6 people jump up in the chat like that's my nigga. So you know things have really changed. Even social media
Mhm.
allows you to date outside of even your area. So you may be saying, "Hey, I'm in a long distance relationship," but he's in a relationship where he's at with somebody else, and you won't know that till you post. You know, till you post, and
Right.
that's why even that becomes a thing. Oh, don't post me. Our love is supposed to be bigger than that. You know, that's petty kid stuff. Because all these problems have come up and arise from a simple post. We've seen people get murdered behind posts. You know,
Right. It's crazy.
we've seen girls pull up at other girls' house behind a post. Because now you realize the nigga you sleeping with is somebody else's husband or however it may be or whatever it goes on. You know, so a lot, you know, even the other day, the celebrity, I forgot his name, he proposed to his girlfriend on her birthday. And before that story even hit, a woman came out and was like, nah, he has a child and he's not even there for his child. So you see how one post could lead to another post that exposed a whole situation? So
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. So that's why I say even social media, and that's why I say things have changed. You know, I'm
You
gonna
have
make
to
it
be
into a
careful.
joke. Yeah, I'm gonna make it into a joke. Back in the day when I was coming up, you wouldn't know a girl was a hoe until you took her to your family barbecue. There wasn't no social media. You know what I mean? So you
Right.
took it there,
Right.
and your cousin like, hey, I slept with her. Oh shit, I slept with her. And you like, oh shit, she the hoe, right? But you wouldn't have known because there
Right.
wasn't no social media to verify it or none of that. So that's why I said stuff has really changed over the time.
That's true. But and then there's I feel like people can be ruined on social media as well. Like because people love negativity, people love lies. So that's gonna spread way faster than the truth or positivity. So
But
especially, you know,
I I can't believe that people take to heart everything they see on social media this day and
and they
age.
really
Okay,
do. They
you know,
really do.
if you go to the cinema and you've been watching movies and you understand all of that is made up, how do you take social media seriously?
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
When pretty much
So
most
that's why I
most of
tell people,
everything
yeah,
be
go ahead.
fake.
But that's why I
Most of
tell
everything be
people,
fake.
right? That's why I tell people, just be yourself because at least if you show up as yourself every time, you know that's real. In a world
Yeah.
full of fakeness.
Girl, that's why I preach self-acceptance in a
Yeah,
world full of
and that's why
fakeness.
I definitely wanted to be a part of your movement because in a world where everybody wants to be the real wives of Atlanta, when that's not your reality,
Okay.
and you have kids that's
Okay.
right there in your face hurting and needing a better quality of life that you could provide with even just going outside and spreading a blanket on your grass and reading books and just speaking life into them. We got to make a change. It got to stop. It has to stop. What's your reality is what you need to build on, not
Right.
what you are taking in that's not really true.
Right. But we kind of went off on a tangent. So back
Right.
to advise your son to chase women. I would tell my son to find you a woman who believes in God, first of all, because if she don't believe in God, then you're going to have a lot of issues with her. So I feel because she's in the world, you know, at this point. So she's going to be more work. She's worldly at this point. So unless she was brought up from a really really good family, she's gonna have a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff going on with her because if you weren't brought up in the church, then you're gonna have a lot of issues
And
with the
that's why I
a lot of
say,
issues. I have, you know, family that wasn't brought up in the church, and I can see the difference in me versus them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
it doesn't make you perfect, but that's where it goes
totally
back
different
to
than me. The
morals
way they think,
because
the way
there's
they
just
talk.
certain things, yes, there's just certain things she's not going to do. She's just not going to do it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying she's
Exactly.
perfect. No, we're not
And
saying
I'm
that.
not perfect just
Right?
because I was
And
brought
I'm
up in
not
the church.
perfect
I'm
either.
definitely not perfect.
But
Nobody is.
at least you want somebody that you and them is equally yoked.
You want somebody who believes in something such as God. Like honestly, there's nothing else to believe in. Like
Right.
the
So if
higher
she doesn't
power,
even want to
God.
answer to God and she's like, oh no, because you'll have people that be like, I don't fuck with him. I don't, right?
Right.
Let's be
That's
honest.
a red flag to me.
Right.
That's a red
Let's be
flag to me.
honest. That means that she will take you through the mud. Because if you're not, nobody ever gets up and say, oh, I'm working with the devil. But if you're not working with God, you're definitely gonna be
God,
working
who
with the
else you
devil.
working with?
So he's never gonna have to. He already know you his good and faithful soldier, because I've been on both sides, and I'm not gonna
Right.
sit here and lie. And I know
Me
when
too.
I'm not under the word, I could get so ratchet and be so that yeah, I had to get saved because I see the difference. And that's why I
Yeah.
say it doesn't make you perfect. No, it don't make you perfect.
Mm-mm.
But at least when you under the word, it's a different covering, it's a different thing.
You're better off.
So that's why you have to pick the quality of woman. Maybe both of y'all are just learning about God, and that's okay too. But all I say
Hmm.
is pick somebody that has a good moral about them because they'll stop to think before they do a situation versus somebody
Right.
that didn't have any moral standard. They'll be
Right.
willing to drag you through the mud.
Right. And I would, meet their parents, because we are a product
That
of our parents.
that's
So
what I
depending
said. You
on
have to
how
see
a
where you're
woman's
putting
parents
yourself.
are
Hmm.
will determine how she is
Yeah,
to
I would
some
say that's
degree.
true.
I mean, she could change, but she
Now the
still
apple
comes
don't
from
really
that. She
fall.
still comes
The
from that.
No, you know why I say that? Because I was gonna say, it's important for you to tell your son this because this is the mentality that's gonna raise your kids, right? Whether y'all are together, um, it depends on the quality, because that's the mentality that's gonna raise your kids, right? So
Yes.
say y'all not together, right? That's still the
Hmm.
mentality that's still raising your kids. So you still want somebody that's gonna be able to mentally raise a better human being. You understand? You don't want somebody where you have to be teaching her and she's teaching your kids. Because God forbid y'all don't make it all the way together and it's just her with the kids. What is she teaching the kids? Is she teaching them the
Right.
morals and standards that you want your children to have? Or every time you get back your
Right.
kids, are you feeling like you have to retrain them? Like it's gonna be a lot. So I mean, outer appearance matters, but I tell you, the heart is where it's really at. So if you find
Oh
somebody
yeah.
with a good heart and then y'all build from there, you have a better chance. Looks could come and
Right.
go because y'all could be together, get into a car accident, and now your looks have changed. So
Right.
yeah, so you have to know what you're building on. What are you
Right.
building on? And that's the biggest takeaway. So I'm gonna tell him to chase and build, chase and look for what he wants to build on. And until you find it, don't stop chasing. Don't let your
Right.
girlfriend stop you from finding your wife.
Right. But one thing that I'm gonna tell my son is to focus on you. Focus on you first. Get yourself together. And then God will bring you someone. God will bring someone that you meet because you don't really, I feel like a man
But
needs to be,
it's
he needs to have his stuff built up. He needs to be
oh no, you
established.
have to have yourself together. There's no way you can
Yeah.
even. That's the problem. People are
Before you
courting
even
and
try
they
talking
broke.
to a girl, have your stuff together. Focus on you. Focus on you. Get your bag. Get a
Listen,
business.
I'm about to say, it's one thing when somebody
Invest.
needs you, and it's one thing when somebody wants you. If you come fully
Right.
prepared to a situation, you never have to feel stuck. People are together because they need each other to pay the rent. People are together because they know they can't do better without each other. That's why it's
Right.
important to build you. Even if you're in a relationship, continue to take the steps, make a separate journal, and build you. If it does not work out, the first thing a person said, I stopped my whole life for you. Well, dummy,
Right.
right? So now
No.
all the stuff you had planned up, you saying, I stopped my whole life for you. No, you're supposed to
Mhm.
continue to build because a situation could change at any time. And you
Right.
still want to be the best version of you at all times. So why wouldn't you continue to build? Why wouldn't you
I
continue
can't
to take
hold on.
those classes? It's a lot. It's gonna be more than this one episode. But yeah, yeah. And like I said, nobody's not dating nowadays. Everybody's having casual sex, and 1 minute they
Yep, and we need
together,
to
and
get out of that. We need to get
yeah,
out of that.
yeah.
It's ruining the younger generation's lives. Like for the ones listening to this, please go research semen retention because that is so powerful. So definitely go look it up because every time a man is giving his jewels away, he is basically taking his life force away. And that's what these younger people and whoever is constantly, always having intercourse. That's what's going on. Like the man is slowly like losing his life force every time he does that. So that's why it's very important to not chase women, not to be out here sexing on all these women because it's using you up at the end
hmm,
of the day. And the woman too is using you up.
you're just
Um
taking in a whole bunch of bad energy, and you're not even cleansing yourself spiritually,
Right.
especially if
Right.
you don't believe in God and all these other things. Everybody fight
Mhm.
for stuff every single day. I don't care if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew. I don't care who you are. Every day you get up and you fight and you struggle with inner things. So to add other people inner things onto you, it's a lot. Are you ready for other people's demons? And
Right.
that's basically
Right.
the bottom line.
Right. So I would just really, really think about how we are raising our children. Um, because they're looking at how we're treated, they're looking at our marriages, our
Hmm.
relationships, and they're intaking all of that. So, like one of my sis said, the kids watch you, they watch what you do 10% of the time, but they're doing like 80% of what you're doing. So just make sure that whatever environment they're in, that it's a healthy, positive environment so that they know how their environment should look when they get on their own. Like they shouldn't feel like they're gonna be beat up or emotionally scarred or hurt all the time, like on a daily basis, like that, because that's not healthy and it's going to destroy their mental health
I
uh
think I think for not to
moving
cut
forward.
you, but I
Nope,
think
go ahead.
a lot of black men is kind of hard because they don't watch generations happen in their house. I know I watched my mother. I watched my grandmother. I know what it is for them to go to work, retire. I watched them go through regular life, menopause. Like women, we kind of have a guide onto what life is gonna be, but most
Hmm.
black men don't have a male figure in the house, so they don't get to see
Right.
their father go through working and retiring and enjoying the fruits of their labor and other things. So they're just trying to make a way off of what they see, you know,
Right. Right.
and they don't see a lot.
I
So
know.
that's why you have to that's why community centers need to be the main focus. This year I said I'm going to start doing more charity work. I want to start going into um the younger schools and teaching young lady how to do press on nails and stuff and giving them skills to work with their hands so they don't have to feel like they have to use their body to get things that they want. These are the things that we have to do too. um it takes a village to raise a child. A child growing up
Right.
without a father for whatever reason is a stressful situation. As mothers, we could
Yes.
only be so much as a caregiver, but I'm speaking from experience. I did the best
Right.
I could do. Private school, all the good camps and stuff like that, but he still lacks. He still lacks. And I don't know what he lacks because I'm still a mother and he's still a boy, and I'm still trying to do the best
Right.
that I could do, but I see that yeah, it doesn't matter, and you can't raise your kids on material because he had the best of the best of the best of the best. He had a private driver and everything. I raised him with money, not with time. So I let everybody else do the time thing, and I did the money thing, and made sure that we had more than the average, thinking that would have provided, but no.
Right.
So I urge y'all fathers,
Right.
even if you're
The
not the
love and
father,
time.
but but even if you're not the father and you're the uncle, step up. Oh God, please, just step up and,
Right.
and just take
Right.
a role,
Exactly.
take a
Exactly.
part, even if it's just taking them to the park, even if it's just talking them to find out
Absolutely.
where their mind is, even if it's just letting them know how the world really goes. Like, yo, bro, you got to get your education because you see, I don't have a job. Like, I've been trying, I've been going to school. Like, whatever you could push on them to let them know that life is real and which way they should be going, you know, take a part. Just take a part.
Right.
Don't worry about
Right.
what the next person is not doing. Just take a part because it,
Right.
it's needed.
It is
Because
needed.
these are the young men that's going to be dating your daughters, right? So take a
Okay.
part.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Give them some mentorship, give them
Hmm.
some leadership because these young men need it. And
Yeah.
I take my hat off to all the good young men out there in the world who
It's
are
not
changing
easy.
the world, who
It's
are
not
doing what they
easy.
need to do. It's
It's
not,
not
but they
easy.
doing it.
It's not
And I'm
easy when
so proud.
everybody look like they could just be a scammer and they could just be a rapper and you could just get 20 bands overnight. That life is not for everybody. because they don't show when it don't go well, and you
I like
sitting in a cell,
it.
and it's only your
Not
mother.
really for anybody. Shoot.
It really not. It's just like having a jump shot. 1 in a million have it. How many get to go?
They basically endangered species at this point.
Yeah.
Every year there's somebody who's gone, who's being taken out. So
Yeah, it's just
it's
important
really
that
sad.
we have to raise our sons better. Whatever that means to you,
Yes,
you
we
have
do.
to take a stand. And if even if it's one thing,
Mhm.
start with one thing.
Right. And
One thing
build on
that's
that.
important to you that's gonna add value to the world.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Yes. Yes. I would say just some things that I would start to talk about with your son would be reading, investing, maybe starting a business. Children, but a lot of the children, they just go through the cycle that their parent went through. Like
Hmm.
they just believe that they have to get a job and that's it. Like go home, go to work. But when we're just surviving, like no, we should be thriving. It's time to thrive. And the only way to do that is by investing money. Like
And building your
actually
own wealth.
learning financial literacy. That is something that we're lacking in our community that we definitely need to
Yeah,
jump
because
on, get
when y'all
on,
get a
you know.
pack, yeah, when you get I mean, I've watched so many of y'all come up over the pandemic that there's no way in hell that you still on your mama couch. And that shows that there's no financial literacy. Because if y'all got all that free money, why didn't y'all take it and at least put it back into something that would have brought you money? You didn't think to buy anything that would have brought you back money. You didn't even think to start your own business. Money is like little soldiers. Dollars is little soldiers.
Right.
If you keep putting them out there with no return investment for yourself, you always gonna be broke, bro. $10,000, you could spend that in a day. Don't let numbers fool you. You want something that's gonna bring you back money. You didn't even invest in your wifey for lifey and give her enough money to start a bundle business. Nothing. Nah, y'all gotta make things work. If y'all not business partners, it don't make sense. You know why? Because marriage is a business, right? So if y'all can't be business partners, don't even worry with the marriage because it got to be about something. I'm telling you, Tay Tay gonna get his looks is not always gonna be there. Shonda ain't always gonna have the roundest ass after she have them 2, 3 kids. So you have to make sure it's built on a bigger foundation that you could say, hey, I made $1 million with her. Me and Shorty bought our first house together after trapping out the car. Those are the
Hmm.
stories I
Or
would love
just
to hear.
yeah. Or if you got separate businesses, or maybe you're not actually, you know, together on the business, you can just help the other person out, you know,
You always have to be a support
be there
system.
to
If
lean
the
on.
person is not
Yeah.
building you up, they're only breaking you down. Let's be real. Be
Yeah.
there. If you're not the next person cheerleader on simple things, even on household chores. That's why I say you have to raise your son the right way. Because a woman shouldn't come and have to save him. If she's cooking, why he's not washing the dishes? It's a partnership. It's not let's make it make sense. Because nowadays, let's be
Right.
realistic. The woman is out in the work field. It's not
Yeah.
the man just, bringing home the bread and, da 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 da. So now
Right.
you have to raise your son to cohabitate with people. If he's not the main
Hmm.
breadwinner, you have to cohabitate. You have to clean. Get up on a Saturday, clean. Wash the dishes, scrub the
Yes.
floor, help with the kids, do their hair. I don't care. Put it in one ponytail if you don't know what to do. But you have to do
Right.
something. If you're not the main
Right.
provider, you have to do something else, bro. Come on now.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
don't raise a
That's right.
slack child and then want to put him with a queen. It don't work like that
Right.
neither. So you only gonna get as good as you build them to be.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that. Responsibility is definitely key. And I am a sucker for babying my son, even though he does have chores. But my
We all do
husband be
that.
like, you need to stop
We
babying
all do
him.
that.
And it's like, because he my only child. And it's like so hard for me to stop
Yeah, I
babying
only
him.
have one. I only have one, so I know how you feel.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you say no, it's only no for a little bit of time because it's like, so girl, I get it. I get
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I
But
get
I'm
it.
working on it. I'm getting better and, trying to keep him come on, you need to get this done. It's like be talking to a wall almost. Like, you got to keep repeating yourself because boys be hard headed. But
I think
overall,
I
oh, go
think
ahead,
the
sis.
one thing that I do want people to take away from this is that when
Mhm.
you have your son, raise him to be a king, whether he's chasing
Yes,
tail or not. Because if you say that he's the head of the household, let him know how to be that. Raise him to be that,
yes,
right? Raise
yes.
him to be that. Raise him to be the head of the household. Teach him financials. Allow
Mm-hmm.
him to, one day just take your paycheck and bring it and show the kids, and let them see how much money you start with and how much money is left when you pay all the bills. Let them understand that life is real. Don't play with it,
Right,
because you
right.
could be here today and gone tomorrow. Life is not guaranteed. COVID taught us that. How many young
Mhm.
people did we put in the grave? So teach your kids the skills of life
Right.
that's gonna allow him to be abundant. If he's gonna be the head of household, put that into him from early. He should be able to
Yes.
wash, cook, clean, pay bills, maneuver a family, and at least be able to think 5 years out. If you're not teaching your son to do that, he's not a king, and I don't care what nobody want to tell you. If he's the head of household, he has to make a plan for him and his family. So that's
Right.
important. If he don't make a plan for him and his family's always going to be stagnant. So he has to be
Right.
able to kind of foresee. And this is why, the word becomes so important, because he won't be leaning on his own understanding to make decisions that's going to change situations.
Right. Right.
So those are the
Absolutely.
things that, have to be instilled. Do they get it perfect? All right. No, but they have to at least have the basics. So at least
Yeah,
start with
because
the basics.
yeah, they got to know how to take care of themselves when they do leave the house.
Mm-hmm. Because that
Hmm.
time will come, and it comes so quick.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it comes so fast. So I believe you summed that up perfect, sis. So yes, that was me and Nadia on our episode today. Would you advise your son to chase women? So if you guys did enjoy this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we're gonna see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.